And we're live. All right.
Woo!
And she didn't even do her counting to try to mess me up. I
That's
don't know what
because
I'm going to do
you
with
actually
myself.
have learned to count quietly to yourself.
I had my hands on, my gloves off, so I could get to 10. So, hey, all you crazy sci-fi and fantasy fans, it's time for your daily dose of shenanigans over here at the Blasters and Blades podcast. Just three nerdy veterans geeking out over our science fiction passions and fantastical fantasies. A place where magic is king, the sky is the limit, and space is the place. And I'm also the king, just so in case everyone
No,
wonders,
no,
I'm
you're
definitely in
not.
charge here. So without further ado, hey, that was rude.
You like it.
Says who?
You keep coming back for more.
Huh.
But
Maybe
anyway,
I need to.
we need to get on to, we have like a public service announcement for fandom here tonight, which is the Dragon Awards for 2021 are coming to a close on the 19th of July. So that would be from the time we're recording it next Monday. And I really think we should let as many people know so that we get the best representation of fandom out there. So this is not to get your vote on, but to nominate so that next month you can get your vote on as you pick out your favorite people. So JR, because we're working on your reading comprehension. Can you tell us what the Dragon Award is about? And I'll let you know wherever you get wrong.
Okay, see, I cheated and went to Wikipedia, but it says the Dragon Awards are fan-nominated voted award that recognizes outstanding achievement in science fiction and fantasy literature, comics, gaming, and filmed entertainment. They are giving out annually at DragonCon in Atlanta, Georgia, which I'm told is a state in a city somewhere. I don't know, whatever that's about. And have been going on since 2016. They have, at their height, had over 200 people there. The award process consists of two steps. The nominations.
JR,
Yes.
we put 200 people in a room and call it a track at DragonCon. We got like 85,000 people at DragonCon.
Those numbers don't exist. That's a myth. There aren't that many people in the world. I know these things.
You can do the math, I assure you.
Yeah. I think they're all like photo manipulation, and you just take the same person and you put them in like 100 places at once. I'm on to your tricks. Next, you're going to tell me birds are real. All right, so the award process consists of two steps: a nomination step where each voter nominates one work, that's where we're at, of choice in each category, and a voting step where the finalists will be selected from the nominated works, and you'll get to vote again, two for the price of one. So participation is available to everyone, requiring no memberships or fees whatsoever. There are currently 15 categories for award: best science fiction novel, best fantasy novel, including paranormal. I'm told that's a thing, ghosts and whatnot.
Like urban fantasy.
Sure, I guess that's book, maybe. So best young adult and middle grade novel, best military science fiction and fantasy novel, that's where it's at. Best alternative history novel, best media tie-in novel, best horror novel, best comic book, best graphic novel, best science fiction or fantasy TV or internet series, best science fiction or fantasy movie, best science fiction or fantasy PC or console game, best science fiction or fantasy mobile game, best science fiction or fantasy board game, and finally, last but certainly not least, best science fiction or fantasy miniatures, collectible card, or role-playing game. Can you tell I was a tour guide in my past life?
Yes, I can, but you did a very good job, but you didn't point out where they all are. But we'll put the web address for nominations in the show notes.
Okay, what else did I get wrong? I'm sure you've got something.
Well, you didn't say what the nomination window is, because DragonCon we're trying to aim it at books that have come out. So, because I mean, like Ringworld came out 50 years ago, and it's amazing and could earn many, many, many more awards. But please don't nominate it because it published 50 years ago. And so we're looking at books that were published between July 1st, 2020 and June 30th, 2021. And the nomination window closes on July 19th. I'll say this so many times that you will know this answer by the end of the episode, even if your name is JR.
So I just want you to know that I think the quincegenarians' lives matter. And so I don't care that they're 50 years old. They are still valid.
Ringworld's an amazing book. Larry Niven's comes often to DragonCon. It was a pivotal piece of work. But it's not eligible for this award.
And yes, I did just Google the quincegenarian word. It's real. Google and Bing told me so. So for those playing at home, what happens once all the ballots are closed on the 19th?
So once all the nominations are closed, we will Dragon Con staff and volunteers will do their digital magic, and we hope that they come out like the first week in August will be when the Dragon Award finalists are announced, and then people get to go and vote. And authors are welcome to campaign. They are not welcome to be like, hey, if you vote for me, I'll give you a book. But they are welcome to say, if you love me and you love my series and want to see more of it, please go vote for me. And those are our beautiful statues. So every year the statue comes out a little different. But that is the Dragon Award statue. And I know I'm saying but it's for fans by fans. There's no membership fee. Anybody can vote from anywhere in the world. So it really is one that this is the chance to get your voice in the community picks out there. So the top 5 for each category are picked, and the top 5 nominations. And if, say, you're reading Aurora Burning by Kaufman and Kristoff. It's a YA book, it's a fantasy, it's a sci-fi book, and it's got a little bit of middle SF. So which one do you put it in? Well, if the fans have put it in 3, they will collect all of those tallies and put them all into one category. So, because the people who organize it are smart enough to understand that sometimes the fan picks up on something that may be a nuance to the author, but actually may be very important to them. So, yes, I picked that one because I read it this year and it is actually eligible. So I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but I will give you a long list of eligible books if you ask me.
Well, one thing I can tell you is that, like we do every year since Cisca started threatening to cut off our fingers one by one,
do not. It's too much mess.
Once the nominated list is finalized and they announce it to the world, we will do a couple interview panels where we talk to the various guests and we'll ask them the same question we always do. And it's only old hat if you keep voting for the same people. So if new people win, we get to hear new answers. So, but yeah. So, that's an important thing. So stay tuned for that. I promise that maybe we'll even get Nick Garber back for that episode. Maybe.
I think we should get him back for that episode, but it all depends on if they let him off the boat.
Yeah, the government keeps holding him hostage, makes him dance. I don't know why they keep it. They don't even throw money at him. They just throw
his dancing skills really aren't worth it, but somebody's got to traumatize their coworker.
I think it's a new torture tactic where he will keep dancing until you confess your sins. I think that might be what's going on. Nick Garber, you'll have to weigh in on the Facebook page and let us know if that's true.
Have you nominated anybody, or do you even remember which books are eligible that you read this last year?
I do. I did vote, but since people get their Ranger panties all in a twist, if you give a slate, I figured I would tell you lots of books that I like that are eligible and not which one I voted for. So, voting, your vote is private unless you want to tell the world. So I loved Exigency by Doc Spears, which is part of a series, but it's the one that was eligible, which I really enjoyed. He's a former Green Beret that likes to tell super secret squirrel stuff. Forgotten Ruins by Jason Anspach and Nick Cole. But anybody who's followed this podcast, wow, that's a new word, knows I'm sort of a fanboy. But Rangers versus Orcs, sign me up. I also liked Hell's Horizon by Richard Fox and Jonathan Brazee.
See, I really like Governor by Richard Fox, which is also eligible. And
yes,
that was done with David Weber. It's set in the In Fury Born universe, which is one of my it's actually Path of the Fury, which is an older book of David's, is my favorite book by David. And so the Governor was really good. I enjoyed it.
But I thought Hell's Fury was amazeballs and definitely worth your time. But I like damn near everything he writes. So I kind of want to be Richard Fox when I grow up as an author. He's kind of awesome. I like several novels by Declan Finn. I follow his newsletter. So he started doing like blurbs about the various characters. And I'm like, I don't normally read that genre, but I'll give it a shot. He did promise us,
Wait,
though.
you read something beyond military SF?
I know, hold your horses, but he did
Woo!
promise me that he would come to my house in his famous orange jacket. I think it's orange. I'm colorblind.
Yellow.
Yellow, whatever. And he would read the book out loud to me if I bought the hardcover. So I'm going to hold him to that. Just got to wait till I get paid. But I'm not even sure which one of his books, because I started at the beginning, are eligible. But he's pretty awesome. Yeah, I know. But wait, you don't pay me? You said checks in the mail. But anyway, I'm not sure which of his books meet the required publishing deadline, but he's got a bunch out this year. So they're all awesome. Go check them out. If you like the pick your own path, choose your own adventure, whatever the way you call them so you don't get sued. If you like that style of book, I enjoyed Armax Tilsley's book titled Brains, which I bought for the kiddos.
I enjoyed it.
And we interviewed him on the podcast. So if you go back into some of our older episodes with Blasters and Blades, you will find it. It was a lot of fun. The kids liked it. They especially liked the trick question about what happens if you eat pineapple on pizza. I won't spoil it for you.
You gain the hero points.
No, I don't think that's what it was. I thought it turned into a devil and died. But
no, you get culture points.
Well, I guess you'll have to buy that book. You'll have to buy the book and find out what really happens and tell us who was right. And finally, I enjoyed Blood and Steel, a military sci-fi series. It's the Tranquility series, book 1, by Josh Hayes and Devin Ford. I like both of those authors as well. And as you notice, several of them are in the same category, so you can't call it a slate because all of them are eligible in the same place. Oh, wait, I also forgot. I think Chris Kennedy Publishing put out an alt history anthology. I can't remember the name, but I do love old history. So, hey, I'm getting old. Words escape me. I blame Cisca. But like she said, we will leave the voting link in the show notes. So check those out. And you too can vote.
So you don't have enough fantasy books on that list. And I don't think there was any urban fantasy because Finn writes horror. So if you have any fantasy books you think he should read, let us know because he needs to add some variety and spice to his reading list. I could go into some of them. I absolutely loved Lost Talismans and Tequila, as well as Damned Souls.
I love Tequila too.
And Sangria by Annette Marie. It's such a fun series. And I didn't really read any alt history this year. Grave Destiny by Kalena Price was amazing. It was the last book in the Grave Witch series, and I absolutely loved it. In fact, it was the last book in 2020 I finished. I literally was reading it at midnight, the last sentence. Normally I don't get things timed to that kind of cool, but it was fun. Educated Luck by Mel Todd is the third in that series, and it's so good. Those are all fantasy novels, but let's see. Naomi Novak has a new series out, Deadly Education, which is if you like Harry Potter, but you don't want it quite so perky. It's a lot darker than Harry Potter, but it's that kind of Magic Academy thing going still. Super good. Totally loved it. Loved how the magic system worked. Very unique. I liked it a lot. You forgot Second Chance Angels by Casey Azell and Griffin Barber, though. JR. I know you loved that one. And then
well, you know that because you told me I loved it. You keep bossing me around. I told you. I thought I was the boss.
I did not tell you loved it. Casey told you loved it.
Well, you guys keep bossing me around. You're one and the same. It's like, don't you know I'm the boss here? Anyway.
You're the admin assistant.
Ouch, I think I got demoted to secretary. No, this is not how this works.
Hey, I totally respect secretaries. They hold the keys to the kingdom, and doesn't matter if anybody knows it or not, but they do. Let's see. I think my favorite sci-fi novels were Paradigm 2045, Trinity's Children by Robert Ross, and Gunrunner by Larry Correia, which is his first. In both cases, these are those authors' first sci-fi novels. Iron Prince, which I'm reading right now. If you saw my goofy post on Facebook, I am truly loving it. I'll probably have that done by the end of the week. But it's really a lot of fun. It's a sci-fi series. It borrows some of the Luke Kameklo, who's one of the authors, has a background writing lit RPG, and it shows, but in a good way. It's not super stats heavy, but it definitely is good. I would totally recommend that to read. So,
you think just because you run a fantasy track at a small, tiny little con nobody's heard about, you should tell all of us we should read fantasy novels?
No. I don't tell everybody they should read fantasy novels. I tell you should read some fantasy novels so that you can expand your horizons and become a well-rounded reader.
I also read books by dead people.
I do too. I read all of A.C. Crispin's Starbridge series this year. Totally worth it. However,
I read Marcus Aurelius. That count. Well, he never won a Dragon Award.
He's not qualified. His books are too old.
Well, that's just not. What if I republish them because they're probably in the public domain? They're that old. Then would that book be now eligible for a Dragon Award?
Probably not.
Why not? It's republished. It's got a new date.
It's not. Pretty sure that the answer is going to be no.
We need a quorum. We will have to reach out to the directors and see what they say.
I'm pretty sure that you're going to get a no from the Dragon Overlords. However, they are introducing a couple new awards this year, and one of them is a Lifetime Achievement Award, and I believe, and
that was not on the voting list.
No, it's not. I think that one is just one. I don't remember all the details of it. I've slept since they told me. I've slept since I read that article. But those would be Lifetime Achievement Awards, and we can totally start having people do those, but they wouldn't qualify for a Dragon Award if they weren't published recently.
They're missing out. Marcus Aurelius is I was about to say the bomb, but that would make me sound very, very old. So he's just awesome.
You are very, very old if you're reading Marcus Aurelius.
I mean, he didn't sign my yearbook, all right? It's not like I'm that old.
JR, did they have yearbooks when you were in school?
I mean, we had clay tablets and we poked little holes in them. It was pretty cool. State of the art.
No wonder you're colorblind.
Colors? What are colors? Psst. Those are a myth, just like birds.
So is there any other questions you had?
No, I really do think Marcus Aurelius should be eligible, though. He's a seminal author. The founder of all things right and awesome. And I really do think the quinquagenarians matter. I'm just putting that out there.
I am 100% certain they matter. However, you got to be, what were those dates again? It was July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2022. 2021.
Well, that's a long window. Books that aren't even published yet.
We're getting close to we're at the end of my day, and I hear some wine o'clock calling, or actually, I'm not drinking one tonight. I'm drinking pie. And for those who go to Dragon Con, they know how good that is. I have a friend who brought me a stash. He goes, I found some pie. Now I have that.
All right. Well, then, so you can drink a pie, which you really are supposed to eat. Use your manners. But you can follow us on our website, which is anchor.fm/blasters, tech and tech blades. Anchor.fm/blasters-and-blades. If you don't understand tech, we are on Twitter at twitter.com/SF_fantasy_show, Sierra Foxtrot _fantasy_show. You can email the show at blastersandbladespodcast@gmail.com. I did get one letter from that fan, you know who you are, who told me that the word tack was confusing, so that's why I said dash. Now you know, and the more you know. But if you checked our show notes instead of just emailing, you would have seen it. I can neither confirm nor deny who that was. You can follow us in our Facebook group where you could recommend all the reasons pineapple on pizza is wrong or what fantasy books I can read. And I've been saying that address wrong, so let me correct the record for here going forward. It is facebook.com/groups /Blasters and Blades podcast. We are important enough that we should not have to put the groups, but apparently Zuckerberg does not agree. He doesn't know how awesome we are yet. We will convert him. The board will be assimilated. So facebook.com/groups/Blasters and Blades podcast. It is now. So you can support the show for a reoccurring monthly fee of as little as 99 cents or as much as $9.99 at anchor.fm/blasters-and-blades. Or you can support us for a one-time fee at buymeacoffee.com/author J.R. Handley. Be sure to put in the comments section that it is for the podcast. I promise I will keep our co-hosts duly intoxicated. They will drink until their liver surrenders.
Never surrender. Nobody likes a quitter.
Yeah, that's what I tell my therapist.
Yeah, it's okay. That's why you keep going back.
Yeah, I guess that's what it's for. Or he just gives me the good drugs.
Thank you for spending your precious time with us. For Nick Garber, lover of boats, J.R. Handley, I'm Cisca, and this was the Blasters and Blades podcast. We'll be back next week indulging our love, or actually back to our regular programming since we interrupted it to bring you this fandom special. We'll be back next week. We'll indulge our love of nerd culture, cheesy jokes, all things that go boom, and trying to convince JR to read some good fantasy books and to figure out math.
Math is also a myth. It is right up there with the moon landing, birds, and pineapple.
And science?
Science is like, that's like alchemy. It's just magic. It's all magic.
Oh, yes. Arthur C. Clarke must have known you, or of you, your kind.
Yeah, I taught him everything he knows.
Good.